So, and you mentioned it already a little bit, approaching it almost like method acting. But so when you're on stage and you sing a song like that, or one of the happier ones, do you go back to that original emotion when you're on stage?
I mean, like, there's definitely like a little bit of like different people,
Okay.
or like different versions of me like coming out in different songs. It's funny, like I feel like I become like my queeniest self during mistakes.
Okay.
Like I have, like on this tour I have this big like train on that I have on like for the first couple of songs, and I have it on mistakes. So I really feel like, you know, like a Victoria's Secret model, like or like a RuPaul contestant, like walking like I really feel like that's where I become like my hero self, like the hero version of me, like a larger than life version of me, that like imperfect but like perfect because I said so, like that version. Like I there's so much empowerment in that song to me. Yeah, and with like I lied, that one is more like playful. That's like, and because you have this like singing with the guitar, so it's kind of like more jammy and like fun. And Say My Name is always like a sort of like back and forth with the audience and just like dancing it out. Yeah, it's like all the different ones. Yeah.
This might sound as a weird question then, but how much is the Tove we see on stage like the Tove when you're just home sitting around?
I mean, I feel like I'm very much like the same. I mean, of course, you're more like energetic on a stage because you get all this energy, and it becomes this like, it goes back and forth between you and the audience. It's such a special thing. But I'm trying in like even more now. I'm really trying to like show people who I really am, because I don't ever want to feel like I'm like putting up a facade, and then like if I at some point show you like my real self, like, oh, I'm a goofball, or I'm like stupid, or I make funny voices, or I like speak very high pitched when I get excited. If you never see that, and then all of a sudden I show it, and then like if somebody would, I feel like if you don't show it, that gives people like they might react to it and be like, oh, why are you being so weird? But actually that's like who I really am. Right. So I want to try and be quite open with my own personality and like show that to people. That's also like what I love social media, because I can do that. Like I can post stories and be like stupid and keep people like involved in what I'm doing, and so like have a real like connection with them and feel like they know me, you know?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because I also read that in terms of your interaction with the fans, you also like we talked about the analytical bit, you like to talk to them and ask them questions. And
yeah, I love them.
So what is that relationship like for you? Is it also, what kind of things would you ask them about the show? Is it about anything in life?
I mean, like, usually, like, people are just, because I love, on the Lorde tour, I used to do meet and greets throughout the whole thing. It was just something that happened because I was, like, tweeting with some girls, and they were like, hey, can we meet up afterwards? And I was like, yeah, let's meet up at the merch booth. And I went there, and I thought it was going to be, like, 5 people, but it turned out to be, like, this long, cute, like, it never ended. So I kept doing those meet and greets, and usually people are just, I love my fans so much because they're so smart, and they're so kind and respectful of me. Like I've never had a weird experience with a fan. Like I've never felt that it's too much or any. People are always like so respectful and so kind, and they give me so much love, and they're so funny. like they're fun to hang out with. Like usually when I do small club shows, I just go hang out with them afterwards and like have a beer and talk because it's fun and they're good. And also like the special thing, it's a special bond that you have with your fans because with my music, I got all these people in my team who work with me, who work for me, who do this amazing work together with me. But for the most part, like at the end of the day, it's their job and it's my life.
Right.
Like I live this music. They go home and then they move on to the next project. With the fans, they're the only ones that I share that with. For them, it's also their lives. They live with the music. They take it into their own, like they apply what I'm singing about, they apply that to their lives. They feel it and it gives me a sense of purpose and it's just so nice. And especially on a stage, like when you do shows, that's when you really get to be in this space that we sort of create together. And it's so freeing and it's just the best thing in the world.
Have you noticed, because like you say, Sways, perhaps you're showing more of yourself, of who you are. So have you seen a reaction to that, to you being more open to them as well?
I feel like I get more love, really. Like, people, it's just more fun. Like, it's like having a lot of friends. Instead of just people are fans of the music. Like, it's like a hangout on Twitter, and it's so nice. Yeah.
In terms of the music, then, because well, the album does have a particular sound, and I think your idea was to strip things back a little bit and to keep it simple. So how come? What was the thinking behind it?
What I really wanted to do was to, like, as you say, like I really wanted to boil everything down to its simplest and most direct form, but still keep it personal, still keep it interesting, still keep it interesting enough to actually like pique somebody's feelings, you know, like you want to touch somebody's feelings, like. But what I'm trying to do by stripping it down is like finding a shortcut of doing that, and with the lyrics as well. Like I would love if people don't have to read through the lyrics many times to sort of figure out the meaning behind it or like the feeling. I really want people to hear it and like feel it immediately. I want to translate my experiences and my feelings to something that you can just like feel. And I also feel like stripping it down is another way of making things open for interpretation. Like you don't always have to tell a whole story like a diary note. Because I'm not really interested in just like telling you about my life. I want to share experiences, and I want to share. I want to feel like I'm not alone in these feelings and going through these emotions, because I think that people are so similar in when it comes to just like our emotional journeys through life, and I want to make music that can like travel through that with you.
Final question then, because you mentioned that you worked quite hard on this album, about 2 years. Is it difficult then deciding when a song is done, especially when you try to strip it back and I can imagine it's difficult to go, okay, now we shouldn't touch it anymore, and it's done. So how do you kind of figure that out?
I mean, for me, it takes a lot of time, because when you strip it down, everything matters a lot. like every single sound you can hear it, every single word you can hear it. So what I've been doing throughout this process is like every single thing that's in there, you wanna fail proof it. Can you say that? Like you want to test it. So you have this idea, and then you want to go. I want to go all the way around and look at it from every single angle and see if there's any better way of doing it. And sometimes you end up on doing the complete opposite, and sometimes you go back to where you started. But then at least I know that it was the best way of doing it. So I've been very meticulous about the whole process, and really spent my time making it good. And I mean, I'm not the fastest at writing lyrics. So just that, like, it takes time. I have really high standards, and I have this like big vision of what I want it to be, but it usually takes a long time to get there.
But I'm sure it pays off.
It feels like it. Yeah, I'm very happy about this album.
All right, Tove, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. This was lovely.
Thank you.
Yay.